It's 9:30 and we're almost...
Is it only 9:30?
Hello, Subs.
Say hello, Subs.
Hello, Subs.
That's why I love getting up early the weekend.
Do I look a bit peculiar?
You do look a bit strange.
Oh, okay. Do I look tired?
You look ill.
Do I look ill? Yes. How? Admittedly, I've spilled coffee all down me.
What do we call that in our family, Mum? Explain to
Call
the
that
subs.
doing a Nicholas.
Why
That's
do we-
from
why do
my nan, my mum's mother, who always used to spill things down the front, and her maiden name was Nicholas.
So Nanny
So
Thelma's
Nanny
maiden
Thelma
name was
used to
Nicholas. Maiden name was Nicholas. was it?
Nicholas. Nicky, they used to call her in the army, in the Air Force. And
You were very close to Nan's mum.
I was like Kiki is with
Yeah.
me. We've very, and because Mum, they didn't get on, as so many daughters and mothers don't.
Well, like you didn't with your mum.
Well, for a bit, we got
No,
on in the
in
end.
the end, yeah.
But the reason I can understand it, because my nan, who I adored, and she bought me my piano and everything, and she paid for all my piano. Well, let's not go into that. What's in the story? What was the
Yeah,
story?
Nicholas. Oh, yeah, so you were
and so
close to your nan.
Yeah. And I can understand it because my nan was a bit of a girl when she was younger. She was always running down the road in a nightie after some man.
Sounds like you.
Does a bit, and my mum wasn't like that at all. My mum was, let's put on these rubber gloves and get down to work.
Nanny Thelma was like Churchill,
She was.
wasn't she?
Was,
She
let's
was the
get
same
this job
spirit
done.
as Churchill. She was like
Yeah.
a bulldog.
Yeah, and I mean, in fact, my aunt, who I adored, but she didn't really like me. She thought I was, what's the word? She said, "Oh, that little know-all. She thinks she knows everything."
But you
I
still
didn't
do.
I didn't realise it was me she was talking about. It was a very bit.
Aw.
I know. I thought, who's the know-all she's talking about? I want to meet this know-all, and it turns out it was me.
I bet you were thinking, I want to meet this Noel, I know more than them.
Oh, very funny.
Yeah. No. Morning, Maddie. What was happening last night?
What do you mean?
It was just madness.
There were windows opening, doors closing.
You didn't answer a text. I came through. There was no kids in there lying down. I thought, flipping out, she's been kidnapped.
This morning and went, "Where's Maddie?" I went next to her. No, she isn't. The windows are open, the blinds are open, and
Yeah.
there's nobody down.
And so I knocked on the
She's
door
gonna
and then-
go out and
And then I knocked on the door and I heard one of your friends go, "Your dad's knocking." Huh?
There's only Abby and Rory staying.
Ah.
Oh, I think I heard them go then. That must have been me hearing them going.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Oh, all right. Did you have a nice evening? Cool.
Oh.
Okay, Mum. So do this, where I'm going to go over to Greenfingered Hill and then do that.
We're now going to go over to Greenfingered Hill.
And now stop and then go. We're in Greenfingered Hill.
With my other arm.
Yeah.
Is that the secret?
Yeah.
I look all right now.
Yeah, you do.
Was
You're
it
in the light.
lighting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do it. Say we're in Greenfingered Hill.
I've got
She's trying to do the... and it's hurting her shoulders. We're in Greenfingered Hill. Are you going to be my garden helper, Nad?
Yes.
Oh, God.
You look quite hot,
Thank
Doesn't
you.
she look hot?
doesn't she? With her curly hair and her funny ways. Bouncing. This weekend we're going to bounce between Vlog and Greenfingered Hill, and if you want to know what has made me this sweaty out in the garden, you're going to have to go over to Greenfingered Hill. Because I tell you what, it's
I'm
really
just
happening.
doing my filming for the vlog.
So she's vlogging, I'm Greenfingered Hilling. But can I just quickly ask you, for the vlog, what were you making?
Pancakes for the kids. This, I usually make my own, but this is a really good mix because it's got buckwheat and flaxseed. So it's really, really good for them.
I love
I've used
flaxseed.
almond milk,
What is flaxseed from? Flax.
flax. But what it is it gives you the same fats as oily fish does.
That's great. You look really svelte.
Do I?
Yeah, you look like an
I'm
hourglass
working it,
figure.
babe. I'm working it.
Got an hourglass figure, and right now I want to leap over there and ravish you.
Ooh, that's my bra. Don't know where my knickers. Oh,
And that-
God, look at that.
And I'm
Just
not...
completely ruined that pancake.
Because you were frazzled by the thought of me ravishing you,
God.
weren't you, babe?
Yes,
I
I
threw you.
was frazzled.
And I'm not pleased to see you. That's just a roll of dog poo bags in my pocket.
Right.
Okay.
I haven't stopped talking
You're working.
for 4 hours whilst working, I know. You look like you were.
Have I got
You
a
look
cut
like
in my
you're-
eye? The branch went right
It just
into
went
my
near
eye.
his eye. Can you see?
Mark.
It just
Can you
missed
see
his
it?
eye. Yeah, you
Yes,
can.
you
Have
can
you?
really see it.
what?
Oh yeah.
So that was a thorn. That's
No,
why
no,
they
no, no,
didn't-
no. It was a branch that flew out and went in, and it could have just gone a bit
My
higher.
goggles, babe.
Oh. Sweaty forearm.
Washed your hands.
Sweaty. Nah, I'm a
No,
man.
you're
I'm
not
a man.
eating your sandwich.
I'm a man, and I
Mark,
eat things manly.
Fox poo, dog poo, no.
All right. I tell you what, I have got is a really sharp cut under my nail, and lots of soil's gone in it. Is that bad?
Really bad.
Stick it in some antibiotics.
That's a gardener's snooze. Huh?
I've just had a long sleep after working in the garden. I'm now getting up. I'm picking up my bottle of water. I'm going to describe everything I'm doing as I do it, because it makes me feel safe. Nadia and the gang have had a nice lazy afternoon, indulging themselves in watching a movie. What did you see, babe?
Instant Family, it was nice.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it, Kiki?
Kiki loved
Yeah,
it.
but did you enjoy it second time around? It made me cry a bit, even though it was a soppy comedy, it didn't make me cry.
And the director contacted me and Maddie to tell us he loved our review because we picked up on so many details in it. It was a very detailed film. If you haven't seen it, it's a great comedy. It's laugh out loud. It's not politically correct. It's not faff, middle class,
Cute.
Nancy pantsy nonsense. It's intelligent. It's mainstream intelligent
It's
fun.
showing everyone just how messy this blooming house
No, not at all. I'm just showing you and how messy the table next to your head is. So this is a bit of vlog. What's happening later tonight? Love Island.
Well, I was talking about Monopoly, then I realised we haven't got a bloody Monopoly board.
What do you mean? Where's our Monopoly gone?
Where's that one?
Where's our Monopoly gone?
Where is it? When we did it at New Year's, it was the people's in the house.
Stranger Things. There's a Stranger Things Monopoly somewhere. Where is it?
That was in there.
How are you doing? Did you enjoy Instant Family again?
Yeah, I did very much.
It's a very good film, isn't it?
It's just so wonderful.
We don't talk about films much in the vlog, but when we do take our recommendations. Watch Instant Family, it's fun. Oh, and that's
yeah.
Kiki just hitting me in the elbow.
It's very true. And
Based on the director's life. I am so bejesus exhausted. Now, here's the thing. I didn't have my Fitbit on earlier today, did I, Nads? And I'd done lots of walking, and I'd done something at home, which required lots of walking too, and I didn't have my Fitbit on. But here's the thing. I only had my Fitbit on for 4 hours, and I've done my 10,750
Yeah,
Nads.
we were dripping with sweat.
I
It's like
haven't...
You've done an all-day workout.
Yeah, because I've just changed the garden. But you have to go over to Greenfingered Hill to see what we did in the garden, which I'm going to show Nanny Di in a minute. I just asked my youngest for a hug and a kiss, and what did she say?
You're sweaty, have a shower. I'm not this tall, imagine.
God, dear, what's happened? You've had a growing spurt. That's weird. Go on, give us a hug.
No, you're actually really stinky.
Apparently I smell and my hair's greasy, so I need to have a shower, I think. That's because I've been doing manly dad things.
How long has it been since you showered?
A day?
That's a bit much, love.
A day?
A day.
Because I never see, I never
I
like,
shower
hear
every
you
day.
shower.
Yeah, because you don't come down when I'm showering. You're in bed.
Oh,
I just thought I'd pick my nose there.
oh no, she's so.
Don't do that. Don't be.
Aww. Thank you, darling.
You know where you're supposed to put it? In your belly button. So, strictly speaking, I'm not allowed a risotto, but you're breaking the rules for me.
Well,
are you?
because no, it is a Joe Wicks risotto. Strictly speaking, because you didn't do a workout today, you shouldn't be having risotto. But you have worked out all day because you've been in the
But
garden.
also, I did a workout on my last rest day.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine for you to have this.
I've probably under-eaten this week.
That's what your mum's got the bloody hose.
No, I know.
You know what she's like with hoses.
No. So this is what is it? Tell us what it is.
So pea and goat's cheese, and I'm going to put a bit of mozzarella risotto.
And tell us what's happening tonight.
Well, various things are happening. And I don't know what we've decided. We're watching Killing Eve. We might be playing Monopoly.
Oh yeah.
What's she doing?
Oh no.
That's not reaching it, Mum.
I know.
You have to step onto
Hold
the.
on.
You have to step onto the.
Oh, will you go away?
No. I know because I've got the furthest reach. Take 3 steps forward, but remember to take your shoes off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yay.
Still not reaching it.
Huh?
Still not reaching it, Mum. It's falling short. That's it. Look what you're doing.
I'm sorry, love.
And Toffee.
I was trying to get him.
Give it a good dousing. Looks like you're going to the toilet. It's not getting there.
Oh, God.
It looks bloody horrendous. I was just watching it.
hit, followed by a hit. Bloody exhausting. Anyway,
Show them the knee one you were just doing.
Oh, this is a good one. I quite like this.
This is such a fat one. No. Oh yeah, that one's good. No, the other one where you're running with your knees up, you can get them so. That, guys, is so hard. Just try doing that, right, for 35 seconds. Just non-stop. It's so hard.
So I'm just heading off. It's Sunday morning. I'm just heading off to see. I don't do this often. I'm heading off to see a friend, dear Jake, who was the actor in my film The Masseuse. And he is a truly charming and witty chap. But he's just had a baby. So he's got a 3-year-old, Marlowe, and he's got a newborn that's just 10 or 11 weeks old. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. I'm probably going to get Broody, meeting him at the Everyman Cinema in Crystal Palace, and we're going to chat about stuff. Now, Nadia keeps insisting that we should do a podcast together, which is called something like non-blokey blokes talking about non-blokey bloke things. I quite like that as a title, non-blokey blokes, just as a podcast. But anyway, you know, there aren't enough things for blokey blokes who are non-blokes, if you know what I mean. I'm a non-blokey bloke, but I'm still a bloke. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He always makes me think. He always makes me piss myself with laughter. So, yeah.
We've had a very bizarre morning this morning, haven't we, Nanny Di?
We have.
It's been strangely quiet,
Yes.
hasn't it?
Yes.
There's been no jumping about.
No.
There's been no bad behaviour. There's been no naughtiness.
No.
Why is that?
Because Mark isn't here.
Mark isn't here on a Sunday morning, which never happens.
No,
So
it doesn't.
Mark's meeting with a friend for coffee. So it's been really nice, actually. I don't mean that in the way that it sounded, actually. No, we've just been chatting and hanging out. And, yeah, Nanny Di's been telling me some very interesting stories that I'm going to get her to tell again when Mark gets back. Kiki's not there. You didn't see Kiki because I'm not filming Kiki. That wasn't Kiki, okay? Just to point that out. So I was feeling really proud of myself. Done my workout, fasted, no breakfast, which is it's a really good thing. Been doing them 5 days a week. I'm so proud of myself. Haven't missed them for 5 weeks now. Been doing 5 a week. No, not for 5 weeks. Oh, anyway, for quite a while. Went upstairs. This is the classic thing, isn't it? Not getting on the scales, not doing the whole sad step thing. Went upstairs. Every sodding pair of trousers I went to put on was uncomfortable. So annoying. Everything I thought I was just going to slip on and do the button up, I still couldn't get on.
Sure.
I'm sure.
Because you do all your exercises. You're doing all your...
I know.
Well, that's remarkable.
But I am getting stronger, and that is the main point of doing all these exercises. So I'm stronger for my trek. So that I'm pleased about. I'm doing exercises now that I couldn't do at all a few months ago. So that's the most important thing. But I would like to get my trousers done up as well. That would be an added bonus. But as long as I can trek the Himalayas, that's the thing, first and foremost. Anyway, we'll see you later.
I'm back at home
He's
having...
back, and suddenly it's noisy again.
So what were you saying? Well, I'll have seen by the end of today that you posted something about how quiet it was.
Well, I didn't post it. I was just filming for the vlog, and I was saying to everybody how quiet it is, and it was because you weren't
Sorry.
here. Don't be silly. We like it when you're
I
noisy.
know,
We
but
like it
I
when
do.
you're here, and we like it when you're not here.
I have to
Quite nice
resist.
just chilling with
It's really
Nanny.
hard. Sorry?
It was quite nice chilling with Nanny, Di and Kiki, wasn't
It's sometimes really hard to know. When I'm editing the vlog, I sometimes want to
it?
cut.
You can come in, Nanny,
Yeah,
Di.
you're in shot, so yeah.
She's frozen like she's on live television.
I the temptation to cut out loads of nonsense from me, but then I think we're trying to be authentic, so you need to know how irritating I am. How are you, Mum?
Good.
Did you sleep
thank
well?
you. Yes.
Did you?
After the gardening.
I have not been as tired as I was.
He fell asleep on the sofa.
I fell asleep on the
This never
sofa.
happens. I was so happy.
I fell asleep straight away in bed. Nadia watched the show. I was
did.
so exhausted.
I
So
went to bed
Right,
and stayed
so
up and watched another bloody programme. I've never. It's usually the other way round. But I was so happy.
So I've just come back from seeing Jake, my friend who was in my film The Masseuse, and he's got a little baby, 11 months old, which I didn't see because it was attached to his chest.
And
But I got to
really
smell
want-
its head.
Mark has had this idea, and I think it would be so fantastic if Mark and Jake started doing a podcast, men talking
we
about
back
men's
into-
stuff.
Non-blokey blokes talking
Non-blokey
about
blokes.
non-blokey bloke things.
I think that's really good.
It's
Oh,
quite.
actually,
It's a
when
good
your mum
title.
comes back from the loo,
Yeah.
she was telling us a story earlier that I think is so interesting because it's the anniversary of Windrush this weekend.
Which
I
explains
think.
why there's a Windrush Festival at Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
God, I look tired.
So, but anyway, I want her to tell the story because I think the subs might be really interesting.
slubs.
The slubs.
That's a sloppy
I'm going to
sub.
call you the slubs.
A slobby
So when she
slub. A
comes
slobby
back-
sub is a slub.
So when she comes back, I want to film your mum telling you the story she was telling me because you don't know it.
Okay. But here's the thing. Marlowe is very sweet, his 3-year-old.
I
It
love
reminded
that
me
name.
of the mental acrobatics that you have to do when just having a conversation with someone.
With a 3-year-old.
Well, and with an 11-week-old on your chest. So the conversation was like constantly rhythmic as he was keeping the baby asleep. And then every now and then he'd lunge down to press. And of course it was
Those
iPad
days.
City. iPad City.
We never had iPads.
No, I was
when
saying that to him. We
was-
didn't have tech in the way that they have tech. Parents now.
Maddie just used to play with toy animals all the time. Those
And he was
Schlee
so sweet. It reminded me of the innocence of young kids because he got scared by the title sequence of the Moomins.
Did you? I'm missing them. Missing Kiki's hand
Whereas
holding my
Maddie
hand at the
doesn't.
minute.
Like I said to him, I said, Jesus, Kiki doesn't get scared by the awful scenes in Django Unchained.
Don't tell me again that she watched that. Watch that.
Only at the age of 7. She wasn't too old.
Okay, turn the camera off. I'm going to make up a tea, and I want your mum to tell you the
Oh,
story.
I'd
she was
love a
telling me
coffee.
earlier. So we were watching.
No, 'cause I don't
we
know.
were watching something on on the Andrew Marr show this morning about the Windrush generation and how now we have a special day. I think this is the first year to celebrate the Windrush generation. And then Nanny Di started telling me we were talking about how racist. Well, I was saying how racist my grandmother was, and you were saying how racist Nanny Thelma was.
Yeah. And considering she didn't bring up Mark, but she brought him up, a lot. And all Mark's not babysitters, what did you call them? Baby minders.
Childminders.
Right from a little baby who was only before we left Birmingham, he must have been younger than
But
3.
yeah.
All the childminders he happened to have were black just by accident.
Yeah.
And my mom, but Mark's Nanny Thelma, was not one bit pleased. She was racist all her life, and she did not want her beloved grandson being brought up by a black person.
And did she say that to you fully directly?
Yes, but she used the N-word.
She did.
And my husband did. Mark's father did too. He
Did he?
said,
So
yes.
who
He said that he didn't want bricks through his window because his wife was considered an ever lover.
You're joking.
I mean, I never really tell that story because it makes him sound so. I mean, he never said anything like Mick.
And what
as
was
bad
your
as that.
comeback to that? What was your take on it?
I don't know, but I just ignored him.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
didn't see. I suppose, but my point being was
Yeah.
you were bucking the trend in that you didn't see
No.
difference. You didn't see.
No.
No.
And funny enough, Lucy was the first one. That was
I was
in
going to say, who
this
was my
in
first
Birmingham,
childminder?
Lucy.
And we left Birmingham when I was 2.
So you were very young.
So
you were a
I
baby.
don't have any memories
And
of that.
one of the reasons I did. I mean, it sounds like a weird thing to say, interview people. It wasn't like an interview, but I met up with a couple of people who said that they knew somebody who could look after a baby. And the reason I chose Lucy, who was lovely, was because she'd just lost a baby.
Oh, no.
And Mark was a baby, and she adored him.
I was
And-
like the fattest, whitest baby
But
you
the
could
funny thing was,
hope to see.
she stuck a photo of you up.
Oh, don't.
And then I used to think, I said to her one day, jokingly, she was ever so nice, Lucy, she was ever so sort of matter of fact, although she'd been very hurt by this baby thing. I said, what do you tell people about that? Should I tell them that he's my baby? I said, well, what about him being so white? And she just looked at me and shrugged her
So was she upset when you left Birmingham when I left her?
Yeah, very.
Because my memory as a child was that I had, because there was obviously that which I don't have no memory of.
No.
And then my first memory that kind of really kicks in with childminding was it Monica?
Monica, when we got down here, yeah.
Monica, Simon Francis's mum.
Yeah.
And they used
She
to live
was
in the
like-
flats underneath
Latimer
Grenfell
Road.
Tower,
Yeah.
so it was Latimer Road.
Yeah.
And I vividly remember Lenny was the dad.
Yes.
Yeah, Monica and Lenny, and he was just, oh God, yeah. And
Jamaican.
Jamaican, yeah.
Jamaica. Well, actually, Santa Monica, what's the
Martinique?
West Indian, one of the West Indian islands, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But and I vividly remember their house. I remember the music. I remember the smell of the food. I remember feeling this was just so. I tell you a
Homely.
film that gives you a really good grab on it. Actually, is Yardie by Idris
Yeah.
Elba. I
Was
felt
your
like I was
childhood?
back in all of the rooms
Yeah.
that I grew up in. And
Yeah.
I remember Simon Francis, and so
Were people racist about the people that looked after you to you at school?
No
So
one
just
was-
trying to
no-
get a time frame on this.
So we're looking at 74, 75.
74, yeah.
73, 74,
Yeah.
75, weren't we? For Monica, when I then went
Yeah.
to the first Thomas Jones.
Yeah. When you were
But I mean,
five.
I don't remember any racism at all. I mean, the short film that I'm making is about this very era that I didn't see any difference. I thought, it sounds ridiculous, there's a film with Steve Martin called The Jerk. I essentially thought I was like them. I
Yes.
thought I was black.
No,
I
this is
saw,
one of the things children don't see the
I
difference.
saw no
No,
skin
no.
colour difference whatsoever. So Simon Francis's mum, Monica, and Lenny, I think,
There was
looked
a
after
younger
me.
child as well, wasn't
Ryan Francis,
Yeah.
a younger boy. And then, what age was I when
So
Tony...
did you get judged by people like your ex
Well-
would say, we'll get bricks
Oh,
through
just-
the window and...
Well, just to go back to a second for that, to my mum. When we moved down to London, I moved with a guy, and we lived in Ladbroke Grove, next to...
Which,
near the
incidentally, historically was like the landing pad for most of the
What I'm
Jamaican,
going to
which
say,
is why
that
Carnival
was
landed
what,
there.
That's what Mum said.
Oh,
Mum
did
said,
she?
why do you have to get... There was a big
Oh,
deal about
right.
us moving to Notting Hill Gate, as she
So it was
insisted
considered
on
quite a
calling it.
loose area. I
It was
thought.
considered a black area, whatever terms that she
Yeah,
used,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she didn't like the fact that we were going
Right,
there.
that's
You couldn't
interesting.
talk to her, and of course Carnival more or less went past our door every year. Couldn't talk to her about Carnival. I mean,
No.
all of that was like, you just don't talk about it.
How weird.
And yeah,
Because it's weird,
you
because
forget
my
how-
memories of Nan and Dad was, I remember Dad being very racist when he was watching football. And I remember being shocked, because of course all the kids I was playing football with, and I loved
This is
football.
Mark's granddad,
My
we're talking
granddad,
about,
yeah. I was so shocked, because most of my teammates, I was captain, at a young age, when it doesn't mean anything, I was captain of the team, and I was playing football for the school. They were all black.
Yeah.
All my friends were black. And I remember
Yeah.
he'd say this stuff. And I remember actually sort of saying, why are you saying that, Dad?
Same with my
I tell you what,
I
Mum.
think they both realised then they shouldn't say it in front of me.
Well, not just that. I tell you what stopped Mum. What stopped Mum with her racism directly to me was me becoming best friends with Mary Rose. And so my best friend for a while was black, and Mum was coming up to London a lot in those days. And I think with a
Yes.
lot of racist things, it's when you don't know people, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
make
yeah,
assumptions.
yeah.
And she got to know Mary Rose, and she liked her.
Yeah.
And whereas she got to know Tony, interestingly, which was the last childminder Mark had. She didn't like her at all.
No.
But
Well, Justine Levine follows me on Instagram, so Justine
Oh,
might see
Justine.
this. Justine's made contact with me,
Justine
Tony's
Levine's
daughter.
dad.
But yeah, Tony Levine and the Levines
Yeah,
were
the
a
Levines.
major part of my childhood.
They were.
I mean, a major part. And they used to live, it was quite literally, my memory was like after school, going to, do you remember that TV series, Desmond's?
yes.
And we used to, me, Justine and Erin and Zach later, that we would often be shepherded up to the black barbers up around Portobello Market. We'd just
Yeah.
hang out in there.
Yeah.
And it would be like in the movie. It was just like in the TV series.
Yeah.
I'd be like the tokenist white.
Yeah.
I was the token.
You were,
I
but
was
nobody
the
seemed
token
to
white
make
kid.
a big deal about that.
No,
But the
no,
fact
not
that she
at
was the only one, which we say sometimes almost, and it sounds like a joke that you went to youth clubs and you're the only
Yeah,
white person.
used to go-
I went to a lot of shebeens up under Portobello Road, and I was the only white person. But it didn't. If it was just one, I suppose nobody ever made a big deal
Yeah.
about it. But when you think back, well, certainly my parents.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was any more sort of overt racism. But obviously, once we moved to London, we moved to a mixed area, so there wasn't, and there couldn't have been really, because.
But I just always knew Nan and Dad were racist.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that. But I
Yeah.
think I probably, although I have no memory of it, I probably said, please don't say that. It's not nice. And I think they may well have kind of drawn a line in that.
Yeah.
I knew my nan and granddad were racist, but when I think of so many of the things that we used to say at school, and all the ditties that we used to say, and the little songs that we would say, I had no concept that that was racist whatsoever. The language we used to use then. So how could they, that generation before? And what they were talking about on the Andrew Marr show was actually that there seemed to be like a whole secret plan in the government, and there are documents found, with the, what's it called, the Official Secrets Act, on how to make the Windrush generation feel unwelcome.
The fact that...
Outrageous.
Yeah, so that's what our parents and grandparents, that was what they were growing up in, wasn't it?
So
they didn't have the
propaganda.
consciousness that it was racist.
Yeah.
Because they were fed the propaganda, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so ironic. I always felt from an early age there was such a contradiction and hypocrisy that there were people saying they're coming over and taking our jobs, and then but they were jobs that no one wanted. They saw as beneath them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's outrageous.
Yeah.
But I do vividly. I mean, one of the major things, and again, this is what my sort of short film was a little bit about, was I remember David Campbell, Simon Francis, and Justin Levine were my black friends at school.
They were, yeah.
Justin Levine and Simon Francis's mums were my childminders, and I vividly remember that when we moved up to secondary school, they drew the line in the sand, and it was heartbreaking. They said to me, we can't be as close friends, but they literally said it. We can't cross the tracks like this. We can't do it like this anymore. Different. You're white. You're going off to do things with opportunities that aren't happening. I didn't say it like that, but they were basically, and there was a kind of bit of heartache on their side, but it manifested itself with David Campbell and Simon Francis. Guess how? With us having to have a fight, and so on that fight, they picked a fight with me. We had a fight,
and that was your friendship broken.
And that was their way of, and it was heartbreaking because I loved Simon and I loved David. David used to make me roar with laughter, and I remember in class, David Campbell throwing this chair at me and saying, "You're a white honky, you always will be," and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
God, if you're watching this, either of you, what a shame.
I know.
Is this Mary Rose?
Mary Rose, that when we were talking one night, and she said at the end of the day, Di, because we were good friends and everything, but she said, when more or less she said it as a philosophy, when the tanks come down the streets, we'll both be on opposite sides.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, I said, no, we won't. So we will.
Yeah.
And it was before the Brixton riots. They'd had the Notting Hill riots, but then we had the Brixton riots.
What do you think Nanny Thelma thought about Mark marrying somebody that's half Arabic?
That's an interesting one. I don't know.
What do you think deep in her soul she thought about that?
Well, no, I don't over you being partly Arabic, but we know from events that happened with the family how near the knuckle she could get with your dad.
Yeah.
Don't we? I mean, we know as a personal thing
Some
that
of the
you
things
have.
she said.
I've never heard you call out for me as meaningfully as you did in that caravan.
No, I think she offended your dad on one occasion where she was talking about lopping off heads, and your dad, quick as a flash, came back and said there is a historical precedent in this country for lopping off heads too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think she could be quite.
For an intelligent woman, when Mum described that to me afterwards, she said, he was joking, as if to sort of let Teddy off the hook, and of course she wasn't taking it as he meant it at all.
I mean, we do excuse that generational racism, and yet at the same time it has informed probably so much of the latent racism.
Well, because they were fed what they were fed.
And
none of these people are bad people.
No, they're not bad people.
They're
But
people that were told a story.
No, and also, I mean, right up until Mum, not the last time she was in hospital, but the time before, we had nearly one of our worst rows as she was being wheelchaired in, when this doctor had treated her and done everything so nicely, and as they wheeled her on, she said, "Can I have somebody who can speak English properly the next time?" And I said to her, "Mum, I'm walking out of here."
So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Crunchingly
Somebody at work was
embarrassing.
saying that they have the same with their mother every time they take them to the hospital. She
Yeah.
starts screaming and shouting about anyone that's foreign.
But here's the thing. I love plantain. I love jerk chicken. I don't like curried goat. I was introduced to my first avocado. Tony always used to give me carnation milk on bread.
Oh, yeah. Big thing.
Oh my
Indian.
God, I used to love that. So, I have very fond memories. Fond memories of them.
Yeah.
She was Googling something. What were you Googling?
I was Googling something to do with your
Yeah, I didn't know you could
channel.
Google.
Wait, this is the first shot.
When do you
I didn't know you could
And so all I knew was that I had to put in NADIA, Sawalha and family. Now, what I want you guys to do now is to go on. Do you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is?
Yeah,
I'm
I think
gonna
so.
tell you.
I think so.
Have you gone on to it before?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's very funny.
Well, the thing I thought you were saying is check this out in the mirror. This is the mirror that used to employ you. This is funny enough. So this is Nadia, Sawalha and husband. That's what they've actually put out. Nadia Sawalha's husband drops marital bombshell and reveals he wants to divorce her during very difficult menopause. That's me. And that's Nadia.
Mark Adderley's mother put.
What about put Diane?
Yeah, because it'll come up with come up with this woman.
It comes up with an actress who used to be in Coronation Street.
Yeah, which
Diane Adderley appeared in Coronation Street, May 1992, as Mrs. Maxwell.
Yeah.
You've also, Mum, been in Henry IV Part 1. That must be nice. Hang on, you were in Dangerfield. Teddy was in Dangerfield. You acted She acted with Teddy.
That's so funny.
Cracker. Oh no, here you are. I found you. I found you. Look, here's Diane Adderley. There you are, Mum. Always thought a hat suited
Suffragettes. It's not really subs. Don't listen to them.
you. Oh.
Hello everybody, we are off to the park. Mark's back. Oh no, we've already done that. You've been back and you've talked about Windrush.
Hiya, Nanny Di's in the house.
Say hi to the subs.
Hiya.
Nanny Di is coming with us to the park for a bit of a walk. Mark needs to get his steps. I need to get my steps for the trek. I cannot believe how many of you have donated to my trek. I got a bit tearful last night looking at it all. So many of you have donated, and if this is your first vlog and you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, I'm doing a trek in the Himalayas for a breast cancer charity, Copperfield, and we are offering a great prize if you donate a minimum of £5 to my charity. And the prize is Mark and I come round to your house, we cook for you in your kitchen or give you a cookery lesson. And if you want to be in our vlog, Mark films us and you get in our vlog. If you don't want to be filmed, you don't have to be. So please, the link is just below the film here. Click on it, please donate. I can't believe it. In the last couple of days, we made over £1,000 just from all our lovely subs and followers. And thank you for that. So off to training.
We've come to walk through the back passage.
Oh.
What were you saying? What's happened with your room upstairs? You were about to tell me?
Just saying to Mark.
I thought you tidied it.
You know the room subs, regular subs. You always have to be aware that people might be joining us. But the people that watch these vlogs all the time know that I have a very, very serious mess problem. We're all pretty sure it's down to the fact that I am definitely ADHD, undiagnosed, but ADHD. I've read all the symptoms and I tick every single box. That's what that mother was doing.
What?
She was making them do sums as they were walking
Okay.
along. I've never done that because I can't do sums walking along.
No.
Because the kids will give me the answer and it will be wrong and I'll say it's right. Oh, I hate my brain. So anyway.
One of those symptoms.
One of my symptoms is that I am unable to organise or keep anything tidy, however hard I try.
Wash your backs.
Right? So, you know, last Monday, I could go into that room where I keep all my clothes and I knew where everything was, okay? Oh, I want a pair of socks. Oh, I want a pair of... Every day that I went in there and I could find something, I was like, this is amazing. This is so amazing. This is what... I'm going to keep this room like this now. Guess what, Mark?
What?
Went in there today. It is like World War III. Sheer Armageddon. Kiki walked past, looked in and just shook her head at me with such disgust, and I'm not surprised.
She's disappointed in you, babe. She's disappointed in you.
And I was just, I wanted to sit down on the floor and weep. Because I thought, I don't know when this went from being tidy back to this again. Now, I know, subs, you're going to get really frustrated with me because you've given me so much advice. You know, we've got to go to IKEA, we've got to get these cupboards, we've got to do this, we've got to do that. Do you know what? It won't make a blind bit of difference if I've got the cupboards, because I have the cupboards, I'll put all the stuff in, then a week later, by some, well, not miracle, by some spell almost, all the doors will be open, the drawers will be open, everything will be out. Why? Oh, I want to go and have this diagnosis, I tell you. Because it really is a problem. I can't catch it. I can spend all day clearing something up and then by the end of the day, it's back at a mess again because I've gone around a full circle and it's got a mess again. Can't tidy a drawer. I can't tidy a cupboard. I've got this girl can organise all the time, offering me to come. The Star Sisters said they'll come and help me sort it out, and I just don't want anyone to come because
Yeah,
I'm just
but
so embarrassed.
You need to change who you are.
No, but I don't know how to change who I am.
Why do you do it? You must do it. It's kind of like attention
Well, you're
seeking.
not much better.
I
Your
am.
room was almost back to where it was.
No, it's not. It's got one pile of clothes on the floor. Don't try and always fan it away from you, babe.
Have I, on anywhere in that walk, tried to fan it away from me? I've
Well,
said
you
I've
are
got
now.
a problem. I've said it's embarrassing.
At the very crunch point where we get to diagnosis and how
now
we actually
I've got
solve
to go
it.
home and I've got to spend fucking ages clearing up my room.
Yeah, I think you
again.
secretly do it
And then
because
I
you
get
want time on your
Sunday-itis.
own to watch Beverly Hills and all that stuff.
darling.
Yeah, you do, which is fine.
I've
But
watched
you don't
Beverly- I can go
you don't
and
need
watch
to
Beverly
justify
Hills.
it with kind of
I can go up there and watch
mess.
Beverly Hills without... In fact, you're wrong, because I don't like watching Beverly Hills when I can clear up, because I can't concentrate, and I need to concentrate for Beverly Hills. When I'm clearing up, I just put noise on in the background. I don't put the programmes on I love.
You need serious help.
Babe.
You're a hoarder. You're a hoary hoarder.
I think, do you know what? I'm going to have to do something quite radical. I think I'm going to go to 2 pairs of trousers, 5 tops.
For
And
life.
everything else I'm going to give to charity.
For life.
I can't do this. I just can't do it.
No. Okay. Neither can we as your family. We feel like we're propping up a really ill person. We all feel sort of slightly ashamed.
Oh, shut up.
We do. We all feel like we've had to go into hiding. I like the back of your hair today.
Oh,
It's very curly.
this is how I had it in EastEnders.
Yeah,
Always had my hair. This was my Annie Palmer hair.
yeah.
And I always said, I think part of the reason I got the job was because I looked back good from the back. And they needed to get lots of back of head shots.
That sounds filthy. You do look good from behind.
No, my hair. You know, it's funny, isn't it? We were just walking along here. And I love this bit of the park, but I would never walk in
have
this
you
bit of the
brought me
park
here
on my own, right? And you just saw why, didn't you? Walking along, this Crystal Palace Park, and a guy walking towards me. He was walking aggressively, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he
He was taking up the whole bloody path. I was scared anyway, but if you hadn't been there, I would have been petrified.
Yeah, he looked
He was
leery.
walking like this. Go there.
Yeah.
This is him, right from over here. I'm walking up the middle. Who brought him up?
It's very manly.
Who brought him up? If you're bringing up sons, you say to them,
Yeah.
just move, always be aware that a woman might feel intimidated by you, and just move a little to the side, cross the road.
Listen to that. I was just saying to Nadia, we were talking earlier about the Windrush generation and International Windrush Day and all that. And that sound, and I don't know if anyone else has got the tropical-like heat and humidity that's going on for us now. It's so tropical
feel like
for
we've
the
been in the
31
Caribbean.
degrees on Wednesday. But that sound and this heat has taken me back to Carnival 1976, 77. Sweating like a pig, and I wish I'd put some shorts on. I've got that claggy feeling. There's our view. I feel anxious and at ease with being anxious. It's really odd. I feel
Oh, I know this familiar
mindful.
feeling.
It's really odd. I feel mindful about feeling anxious.
Yeah, I feel a bit like that. It's weird,
you?
isn't it? Acceptance.
Yeah, I just feel I'm just going to be anxious.
But that is the way to remedy anxiety, is to sit with it, is to say, okay, this is what I'm feeling, I know this, it will pass. That's what you're now doing. It's when you go, oh God, what?
It's
It's
not
when we
passing.
as humans go, oh my God, anxiety, what am I going to... Yeah, but you won't feel this anxious for every minute of the rest of the day. It will pass.
Anyone else get that? Oh, look at those daisies. Do you remember the days when well, to be honest, I never really lay on the grass and made daisy chains. But my daughters have. I feel anxious, but I feel chilled with my anxiety. It's really weird. Like, I've just got to accept it. I just want to look at that tree. Look who's next to me. It's Nadia Sawalha off the telly. Hey, Nadia Sawalha off the telly. I'm going to take a photo.
Nanny Di?
Yes.
You know you gave me £5 to get 2 bottles of water?
Do not tell me.
£5 wasn't enough for 2 bottles of water. £3. £3. You go, Kiki.
Oh
What?
my God. I said to Kiki,
She's given me £3 change.
I nearly said to Kiki, go and give your mum another £2. That won't buy her 2. I mean, isn't that outrageous?
Change.
Oh, thank you.
It's outrageous. It's totally outrageous. We've lost Mark. We don't know where he is. He's done a runner.
So this is Nanny Di's exit from the vlog for the weekend. It's been a fruitful time, it's been a meaningful time, it's been a heartwarming time really.
You know, some people say Nanny Di under the vlog, that they get all excited when they know that you're coming, like it's their nan coming round to the house. Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
So right now, subs, use adjectives to describe how you feel about her leaving.
No, don't.
Yeah, now, right now, write them now.
No, don't.
And I'll
don't,
read
Subs,
them
because
to her.
I'll
Glasses.
cry.
And glasses.
No, he's so cruel.
Why is that cruel?
Because it'll make me cry if they're nice.
But you,
Come on, everybody,
anyway,
make Nanny Di
let's
cry.
make Nanny Di cry. It's almost a new... Now, Mum, you are renowned. You are renowned in London. I think even Boris Johnson, when London mayor, would comment on the woman who crosses Tower Bridge with a plastic bag.
Yes.
And that's you. What have you got in your plastic bag there?
Oh, Subs, I've got this, look. Oh,
Show
I
us.
can't take it out.
What is it?
It's a moss-covered piece of bark.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Of course it
Of
is.
course it is.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't travel through London without
Which
a
I'm thinking I
moss-covered
could
piece
grow
of bark?
ferns on.
Yeah, but Mum, can I just say something? You were covering it in water earlier, thinking
Yes.
that would preserve it, whereas water is a renowned and well-known destroyer of wood.
Of moss.
And the wood that it's on. I think you're going to end up with a bag of soil by the time you get home.
I hope not.
Yeah, but it was a bit foolish.
Show them what you're taking home. Get it out. Let's have a look. Give me the bag.
Yeah,
Hand me
hand
the bag and
hand
I'll
the
just
bag
let
to
Mark
Nadia,
have a
and,
look in.
and she'll just shut. Pass it forward to
Oh,
Nad.
it's falling off already.
There you go. There you go. It's a lovely thing.
Look.
It's a lovely thing. Basically, you're craving some form of natural thing in Shadwell. Because
Exactly.
you've got no greenery at all, have you?
Well, I've got a load of houseplants, but it's not the same.
You're probably more oxygenated than the rest of us. We need
probably am.
houseplants, Ned. We need houseplants. NASA says get houseplants for your
You've
kids.
never had houseplants, which I've always found slightly strange.
Does it
I'm
make
going
you?
to order a load.
Does it make
Well,
you?
don't say that, because you have to look after them.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the girls need them in their room
Yeah.
because of the pollution.
Anyway, Mum, can I just say something? It was quite quiet at the station.
Nobody's come back to you, have they? So it's not a question of the...
It's not live.
It's not live, you donut.
It's for the vlog.
This is for the vlog.
I was waiting for...
Oh. One day she'll understand when we're live and when we're not.
Yeah, we're not live.
Anyway, Nanny Di,
Until they came. Yes.
goodbye.
Bye. Bye, Subs.
See you maybe
Bye,
next
Nanny
weekend.
Di.
Bye.
Yeah, no, I won't.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Love you.
Don't go pulling any birds.
Nanny Di wants to go and see Jamie and Six the Musical, so we're going to book that.
Yeah. Seems... I think I've missed out on that one.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
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 Yeah, this is Sam picking up. Bye. Love you.
Love you.
There's trains.
Girl looking at her.
Go on, it's in 1 minute. It's 15:31. She's not going to make that. She's pointing to the train that's coming in, but it's leaving at 50. It's leaving in 1 minute.